There's so much pain, so much that has arisen in our world recently. And I believe that part of that is because people are expanding their awareness. They're waking up dormant parts of their being, dormant parts of their mind, but also their soul is stirring. Their soul is opening up and expanding and letting themselves to make a very pivotal decision right now in our lives. Who am I going to be? Who am I going to be? Not what am I going to do, where am I going to go, where I'm going to live, what kind of clothes I'm going to wear, and all the stuff that the ego is so fixated on. But rather, who am I going to be, which is a fundamental underlying concern. Because it's out of your being, the state of energy, the attitude, the belief about yourself. Am I powerful or am I powerless? Am I going to come into a place of moving into the unknown to face my fears, or am I going to shrink and hide and pretend they don't exist? You see, out of that fundamental choice of who I'm going to be, all of your actions are then influenced. All of your actions are colored. They're influenced, they're directed, and they're going to either lead you towards your soul, your empowered destiny. And if we don't make the choice to be powerful, if we don't make the choice to get to know the truth of who we are, not the conditioned self, not the lesser self, not the self we've all become, but the truer self, if we don't make that choice, which leads us to the empowered destiny, we often will have to default into the disempowered destiny, which is built and designed by our ego. And our ego will lead you to a destination of not only disempowerment, but of frustration, of fear, of nothing ever seems to work out. And so that becomes an option that we each, I believe, right now are making that decision. Deciding who am I going to be, and then from that being, taking action. We're at this pivotal point. And the cool thing about this opportunity is there's nothing you need to go by, there's nothing you need to do. You need to sit and reflect and decide upon who do I want to be. And the fundamental choice of that hinges upon, am I going to reclaim the power that has been within me my entire life? Am I going to step into that part of me that is wiser than the ego? Am I going to allow it to be the guidance system moving forward into this unknown, the unknown of the future? Well, I don't know what is going to happen, Michaiel. I don't know what's going to happen next week, next month, next year. Well, guess what determines that? Who you're going to be. Because your being is energy that radiates a presence. It irradiates and sets in motion the law of attraction. And if I'm being powerless, if I'm being afraid, if I'm giving my power away to fear, then that leads to a destination of frustration. A destination where I'm always on that hamster wheel trying to figure things out and feeling powerless, feeling afraid of life. And also, out of that feeling and fear of being powerless, you make a decision that the world is an unfriendly place. It's not safe for me to be in this world. And guess what? That belief will draw and attract and create experiences to support it. And likewise, when you make the choice to step into your power, what is power anyways? What is power anyways? Power is your ability to make conscious choice. That's what power is. And if you think about it, a lot of people will equate money as powerful. But what does money provide people with? More choices. That's the power is associated with money, because the more money you have, the more choices have come available. If you're going out for dinner tonight and you have $10 in your pocket, your choices are limited. If you have $500 in your pocket, your choices have expanded. So see, people equate money with power, but it's choice that's powerful, and that's something that you can exercise and make that decision. And you don't need to know how to figure it out. The fundamental choice is, who am I going to be? And guess what? You will waffle back and forth. It's not like, oh, okay, I made that choice, now I'm going to always be powerful from here on out. No, you're going to practice. You're going to go into the feeling of disempowerment. You're going to go back and forth. You're going to do a dance for a while, because there's things you need to retrieve in that disempowered self. There's things you need to understand about your beliefs, about your attitude, about your thoughts and your feelings. So it's important not to say, oh, the empowered self is good and the disempowered self was bad. I wasted all this time in my life being disempowered. No, you didn't. It was part of the plan. There's a lot of gifts to learn when you set down your power long ago. There's a lot you can benefit from. So don't judge good and bad, right and wrong, powerful, disempowered. No. Know that it was part of the journey and necessary for you to come to where you are today, to stand in a position of having known what it feels like and to experience being disempowered, what it feels like to give your power away to other people, what it feels like to conform to the conditioning of chauvinism, to conform to the conditioning of what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, what it means to be white or black or Asian. All the cultural beliefs is a way that we automatically, systematically gave our power away. It's not bad and wrong. Again, there is a reason for it. But what I believe is that we're standing in a place where we are facing the unknown of the future. And that unknown of the future is requiring us to make the choice conscious. Because the decision to be powerless and all that was unconscious. You just did it because you had to survive. You had to fit in. It wasn't like, oh, when I was 3 years old, am I going to conform or I'm going to rebel? Am I going to... You didn't really do that. Not when it came to, you might with your parents when you were an adolescent and teenager, but not when you're a little child. You didn't do that. And you bought into belief systems. And now the future, all of us as spiritual beings are going to create our future individually by conscious choice. That's what's new about the new age. It has never been done in humanity up until this point. And so that choice is pivotal. It's valuable. It's important. And in order to make it, it's not about making the past bad and wrong and what's wrong with me. When fear arises, it's not fear is good, bad and love is good. No. There's many books back in the 70s about that, you know. Love is letting go of fear. Yeah, that's true. But love is more than just avoiding and trying to manage fear, because fear and love work together. You know, we live in this holistic, whole paradigm of a duality. And so there is love, and the more you love someone, including yourself, the more you love something, what increases along with that love is the fear of losing it. Why would that be? Why would that be? Say, in many ways, fear deepens the value of love in the moment. Yeah, I'm afraid of losing you. Yeah, I don't want you to get hurt. Yes, you matter to me. So fear can make love matter more deeply in the present moment. Now, what people do is they give their power and their choice and decision to their ego. And their ego says, oh, fear is bad and wrong, and judges it and tries to run and hide, or tries to fight it, or tries to distract itself from it. Because it feels powerless. That part of you feels powerless. But when you're in your power, you can stand in the love of who you are. You can stand in the presence of who you are. And you can turn and face the shadow of fear that says, yeah, you know what? There's a part of me that is afraid of losing this. There's a part of me, and that's okay. It's because I'm human. It's because I live in a world of duality. And, hear this most importantly, it's because love matters. That's why I feel the fear of losing it. And I need to let that be okay. And when you can stand in that position and pay attention to the fear, to seek to understand it, that fear changes into deeper value and meaning, into a resource of creativity, of confidence, of determination. So the fear can change, but only when you come from a place of power. And when we abandon the power and we go into our fear, we turn our back on love. and we distract ourselves, we deny it, we discount, oh, it doesn't really matter. We do all kinds of things to not deal with the fear, although we're riddled in it and it's blinding us. So to me, the key is that when you let yourself stand in love, what does love do? Love pays attention. Love seeks to understand. So when I talk about loving your fears, I'm not meaning, give it a big, bear hug. That wouldn't do much. You're already riddled in the fear. You got to separate yourself out, reclaim your power, remember who you are from the conditioning that you're somehow powerless. You got to pull yourself out, remember who you are, and then turn and face that fear and seek to understand it and take your power back from it. Take the value, the meaning, take the creativity, take what it is imprisoned that is a part of necessary energy for you to grow, to evolve, and to move beyond it. And often we won't let go of our fears because there's something that's trapped inside. When there's basically the four fears of, the fear of abandonment, betrayal, rejection, and humiliation. Well, what's trapped in rejection, what's trapped inside that fear of rejection is acceptance. Accepting yourself and accepting other people. What's trapped in humiliation is compassion. The fear of compassion, or the fear of humiliation, inside of it, it has robbed me of a level of compassion that I need. And I can only retrieve it by facing and going into my fear, feeling it, and deciding I'm more powerful than it. That's when I can access the compassion. Abandonment, inside of my fear of abandonment, is a level of commitment. A level of commitment and loyalty that I've somehow lost along the way, engulfed in the fear. It's like your soul plants it inside the fear, and you got to go find it and face your fears. The ultimate test. Am I going to be loving? Is love going to be the master in my life, or is fear going to be the master? Who am I serving? Who am I going to be? Powerful or powerless? And inside of betrayal, the fear of betrayal, is hidden a level of trust. Trusting yourself, being trustworthy to others. Trust is trapped inside of that. And when you can go into your fear of betrayal, that is a pattern that might have been playing out in your life. Not only can you retrieve its gift, but you can become even more, because that light expands. Because you've added what was trapped in the fear. So that's something that just I wanted to mention to you, and why I'm talking about it this morning is because fear is becoming rampant this week. It's come up for me a lot personally the last week, and I even wrote about it in my Soul-utions Sundays I was just reading. And I think that